enti no what's part 2 you mate meba me aye okay As is a very interesting platform favor me that say enti pathway to settlement in some p ni atete say na man for say na abrofo no omutiri mo odin ompese omu use as a slave nti na ne odi indefinite leave to remain for 10 years am dwi bibini broni on solin am ka se Ghana fo nkwa na etu kwan na bibi fo nkwa na wa masa ye fi less developing country anything na obi beduru ase a o se abluchire heaven na so abluchire nya heaven ye US fo bibiri omo tete ase me ma sole fo bibiri omo free US omo ti krom omo bo omo bla eno akobi ba ye djuma mu o se de nche relocate free US aba UK ni say aha ye cheaper because buy no abetena e not yam ne anade what they so they compare America na aha ye cheaper man bro ni bi no abetena say ena ni kunu kura sa wo British Army mu what you say enti no sometimes no mama feel say before nkwa na abetena wenti no ablofo ni take decision bia you think say omo hwe Ghana for na omo di take omo decision bia na no ade mu ye really see o se bro ni on solid prekopen ka se ma hye mra we or the reason ti a o de hye sa mra na ye den eba ho or the reason ti a o de hye sa mra na ye den eba ho what you say ansa no hiding we to anamon because onim say Koma say no untimi mfa ye de hoho na chichiri kuro and there are so many other countries are developer for my they are also contributing to the development of this country enti ontimi so de prekopen ka say o me home secretary na me ye enti no ma shemla by force obi ani so enu enti na besi ne enya nya adwuma they are still debating about it no what you say enti no enya bibifo nkwa ne tukwan ba o enti no se broni osore na o make ni decision bia men dwen say wo bibini na wahwe oso na wode make ni hyehyɛ enti obi say die enti a na abrofo no mo ya akronfo no mo use o ma adwe because omo de indefinite no ko 10 years wa abla ye really see and one ko reason ti a odi ko 10 years ene me kire chebe no ma che ma me won to fa nkyere o me ma kan book no die enti a broni say odi indefinite no ko 10 years ne say o say opefera pathway to settlement ye ka say bibi e fair o say fiti dada da nyina besi ne wo mo say ye wamanfo bebere wo ho a o mo cheat system no kwan be no mo fa so cheat system no because o say o manage foreigners a o mo ba kroma say be ye adwuma time a this country was in need of people into o mo mfa foreigners in agro Kestama de bia so oye na eyi a oye ne submission o se so kasa hoho mebo akro we ya na oboa enti no onfa hoho ni agro na emum the fact is say onfa hoho ni agro ne so nkire say we should come and cheat on this country enti na wose yegina yetimi boaboa ye ho hand in hand enti wo be ye adwuma na se wo boa mi kura na me so mama wo benefit a wo wa wo kura wunya wo ba ase enti ni na sma say ye ba ase e be ye adwuma nyina no se so yenya so mfa so enti na we keep coming sana nchechemu ni nyina ye de etie no se won se amanfo bi wo ho a omo cheat system no enti die enti na omo de saa de we call 10 years ma me nchechemu nchire o se ye amanfo bi wo ase omo timi ba ase ebe ye adwuma bi ti se omo am de skilled work visa ba ye no obe ye adwuma twia IHS twia tax no we twa 5 years no we nya no indefinite leave to remain obi so timi fa ensuo so be di aduro obedi aduro ni krampo no wansa nkoye adwuma o that person is still in government receipt or benefit 5 years and so ye ne saafo ni nyina na ekoje ILR no ekoba say yes sisie because ba akwa ye adwuma atwa tax ba akode offense so ba ye na no obedi aduro na na osanyem wo ye ene watena fie say omo nyina no 5 years ne count a ye ne omo nyina na ekoje indefinite ti bro ne tira so se da bi asi ye sisie amanfo bi etra me ka say on me better say na me kasa enya me experience ni de me nya wa abrochiri na me medical you kasa mu won ye release information na onko kan omutiri mpo no oba ya na obe yes ye de yi be ko 10 years na abrochiri ya de na omutan ye nti na omudi ko 10 years na opese masa enti broni ni trans na ni so ade hunu nie o say no ebi mo ha mo ba mo de skilled worker visa na ba mo ye adwuma me ye timo tax after 5 years u benya ILR. Now, some contribute to the development of the country by paying tax. Odu also so obedi adura, we are no asawo. Or we are no government, obedi government benefits are 1 year adwuma. 5 years in this one was apply for indefinite leave to remain. Not on say the amano. And a sana they have to be a fairer system for ubia. It is a say no. Bruni say so the benefit bema you have to be somebody you have also contributed to the development of this country in any other way bia wa ho di betimi bia. Inti eneme project ni mani bi wo screen so. Ni nyina ya kan ni a kire ase ni ahwe omutiri mpo. Inti tie de okan ni say and a man for say indefinite leave to remain no. They say obedi 10 years na wanya enya no kore. Obegas na dia ba asem na ogidi kan. Enya no kore because 10 years no or the agina mfimfini brane. Ayesa adonko. The wo mfimfini e friend pivot. Enu no gina brane. And see so na aha kwosoro na ha aba fom. Aha kwosoro na ha aba fom. Entity or say die emfia me die gina mfimfini aye brane. Obi betime di ansa na qualify for ILR on ye 10 years. Nemum wa kire enema bi a wo ya e betima teso aba be do 3 years na onsa ka we indefinite. And one sa kire enema bi a wo ya e betimi asa raise mama wa hwekra obedi 20 years ansa na wenya ILR. Difference e woman nti ene no me ba be kire wo what you be ya ubetima nya we indefinite as early as 3 years. And I never also a way ubet made 20 years and Sarah on Saka. Into the 10 years Najan Finfini say, Tinu. Or the 10 years Najan Finfini say, and why any sa dunku. And the 10 years is like a pivot. And I feel no, or the why not just table say, I cost a harbor form. Into no, I'm not young chow crano. Mammy, say life on another month for many son for Sunibi. It's a man chow crano. I mean, project in a sassy and kind. What do you say? It's not a case me could to be experience na me da be show. I come here with facts and who said the abrofuni kari na eto asumu. Eto asumu because wo ba and wo be year adwuma twa tax after 5 years o qualify for indefinite. Obi aba be di aduro. Odi ado wie na osakoje government benefit. Wa tena fia universal credit sa wan koye adwuma mpo am ya ante tax. Emene ne so aye ne sa afo ni nyina na ekoje inde. Ekoba say there is no a fairer system. Enti sa dia na ma me fa nko 10 years. What you say? And two, the into the 10 years, and I say, well, see, most of the people, no, because of care visa, now, or be 2 months for about 2020, no, most of the people, no more time as soon. And okay, any pabe over there, say 100,000, I say 10,000, babe qualify for ILR, and a cobasana, Obia Sunya ILR, or entitled to benefits and I say universal credit. And Obia Boko government housing, a cobasa, you put pressure on them, or money say if you know, will be feedy, say any penny na. Enti sadia ene yemfanchise yentu kwemu na se be ye adwuma mpo a yempagya mu kakra se na be ye ombetmenya kwan asisi fie ni bi because ena wo hwe krom ase a omuso mbesi 1 million homes de efie no muso mo de ma hwan because they know say people are about to qualify for ILR on ba be government housing. Enti ene no se oya because the people be gum ni enti no enfa no mu konya fie e de aboa saafo ni nyina ba de no kwa de yemfa to nche na yenredi from omankasa ayi ni ne yenti ase. Enti se na de be ye no yebe kan ni a chirechirem entity key requirement di enti no mo de san hihye we nyina aye den e ba aye yeba be kan a chiro no ate ase enti o say key requirement of an end settlement system it would am fa cha mu hu manim me de we na eto so se na be ye betima kan me de se mahu mi a enti wo de tie se wa wuntimi kan chichi wa me kan ma chichim to the best of knowledge wo twi se na be ya betias no se kro na wo mu no bro ni hu adwumboni o na tambia no o ya ade a ebeboa ye nyina na o ma adwumboni wo mutim o mo pese o mo kate kwanese no o na ade we ye o mu problem because wo abrochira wo abrochira de o hia your work permit what you say de o hia your work permit me on the only thing on senko bi ka say ILR no ko 10 years I be ha adwen aya no na amanfo ye den e ka ho asem ne say nka de nkomo mfa ma no munyi benefit in free ho because of visa renewal. Because no visa renewal no any IHS ni nyina nipa ba akwa kika be 3,000 pounds as a 3,500 pounds what you say into this all the 10 years no wa 5 for kroma say I won no man no sika no be koso eno nkwa de o ka meti ase ba o be ka che me say adwemboni wo mutrim na den a chama e ono ye de be bo ani kuro ye nto aso ne nka wo say our working assumption is that the system should operate on a time adjustment model, meaning that the qualifying period will be adjustable upwards or downwards from a baseline qualifying period, depending on the individual circumstances of the case. In America, in say no, only 10 years na jira mfimfini brane as a pivot. And I don't kunu baby cost na baby aba form. Until the eco form no achira on yema we ya as early as 3 years, ubet benya we indefinite. and an yama oya a bit made with 20 years. Nasto Crown Sankai. Enti yesu aba ni nyina na yebehu. Yanko second paragraph or say, as set out in the immigration white paper, which is the white paper no release here no. I think some baby decode the last year mugo. In the course of this week, mesa try na white paper ni asa go over. Ni emu say nti krampo a omutwa kervise mu no moto obo denim no. Ye to also say, as set out in the immigration white paper, we will move to a system in which the baseline qualifying period for settlement for most migrants is increased from 5 years to 10 years. Into say no kind of white people anymore. Say oh my yeah, I dream be say try say most of the migrants na say enye obia but see most of them one or come one sem obia onye na adwen so ono so be contribute to the development of this country. So won contribute there yam fa your benefit ma sa na opese wo ka first no mo cheche benefit no rough wa bra wonye hwe kwa ma kro na enti most of the dikamfo bibli no mo ba ye no o ma da government housing musa obu wa da ban dem musa 15 years ni ontwa dan kada ade oya maintenance ni council tax enti no bit me ba lives wo gidi ontwa council tax dent na wo kasa as the council tax na yiska kese bia ma a man to go to be 125 pound men ka say yiska iska but enya ade en ntu di betwa ogidi mpada ogidi ontwa council tax krada koma say why na hand dan ontwa council tax enti obu a wabon ebon ni ane den so no ke council hu no but anyways enyo mu ntina mo ha ode ensu ade enti wo say as set out in the immigration white paper, we will move to a system in which the baseline qualifying period for settlement for most migrants is increased from 5 years to 10 years. As set out in the Restoring Order and Control, a statement of the government asylum and return policy, also about asylum diwa, we will introduce a starting point of a 20-year qualifying period of settlement for those recognized as refugees. Into also omo be dia drono. They say no, omo the indefinite leave to remain in. Omo setting out some points points bia wa man hwe ya be 20 years and so no manya die nti na oyesa he just want to discourage people from entering the country illegally because die nti na obitimi ko France ko die aduro no asa fa nso so asa ba UK because I say no mu ni say ubenya kroma say papers no easier and faster enti die nti a wo de ko 20 years ni nya ye illegal migration nti na opese o te so ba de yesu aba no beti ase enti wo say as set out in the Restoring Order and Control, a statement on the government asylum and return policy, we will introduce a starting point of a 20-year qualifying period of settlement for those recognized as refugees. Those who move from core protection onto the new core protection work and study route will be able to earn reductions. Entitio, say no, once a uko dear draw, na se bia oko dear draw we ni see that see a refugee status and I see a humanitarian visa. And so humanitarian visa ni nyina after 5 years no o qualify for ILR. It's most of the people no on set till the bia meka say obi odi aduro bia no from there obe sha say wodi aduro na ultimate strategic benefit. Enti aduro die krata na at any indefinite leave to remain ya pe because wodi aduro na wunya krata na o qualify for benefit bi e wo krom he bia what you say enti no en na ban ne tena so no say ni de impo ukodi aduro ne de krata ne ma wo a omo ba be issue another core system and as ba be issue another visa bia ye frɛ no protection work and study route chenio and no say omo be ko sa protection work and study route ni so will earn reduction into say no qualifying years a wode ato omo be di aduro no 20 years na emum say di aduro krata ne ma wo wie na wo switch ebeda protection which is another visa bia omo ba be introduce protection work and study route in so you may earn reduction because when we say the normal humanitarian visa and I said the normal asylum visa na yede ma amount for omo gia omo nkoye adwuma and omo nko school omo gia no mutifie no omo gi benefit after 5 years no asa kwaje ILR but say no so be di adro near the humanitarian visa ne ma wa is either say obe switch akọ study like protection study visa so ani nyina ya asylum there but o switch akọ so na wo di akọ school because onim say wo go school na say wunya certificate all baba be ye adwuma ana say obe switch akọ the study the work one ne so in say asylum nkrata ne ba be ye mienu enti after say the humanitarian visa na ma na say refugee status visa na ma wa wie no e was say wo switch akọ work and study one ne so which is the core protection ne so na no che say wo ye de adro die krata ne ma no wo di bi koye adwuma ana say wo di ko school o say wo ye sa ne de a undi 20 years you earn a reduction. And they don't want people to stay in the house say oh benefit. Yeah, it was so. It was say, as set out in the Restoring Order and Control, a statement of the government asylum and return policy, we will introduce a starting point of 20-year qualifying period of settlement for those recognized as refugees. Those who move from core protection onto the new core protection work and study routes will be able to earn reduction. However, refugees will never be in a better position than those coming to the UK on a recognized migration routes, such as workers. So, into say, fiti dada the nina as will be dear draw tembiano. I say, omo de abine show ye, Emma so mu feel better than obi or the work visa buy because obi could dear draw one. Starting from there, okodi adroni ya the two hotel. Abine man eduani di, or money sika every week be a mani di. Owi ani asamani a humanitarian visa and as a refugee status visa, which mean to confirm a bush na phone in without to say obeko or show salary threshold, or show a what you say the character need to make confirm a bush na phone in for a family reunion yanade. But obi on already work visa habano. The character no nye do end to say obi I or be dear do awenya. It was say no. However, refugees will never be in a better position than those coming to the UK on a recognized migration route such as workers. Tinio, into one would a skilled worker visa buy. I say, what crown I will work on because they will be room hand. I shall say, yeah, Juma buying now or some for so. What I say, because the work visa buy, NFPF da also, or crown benefit, Ubu now here, Juma may tax. Enti or say anyone who says a refugees, you know, or more in a better position where you can say more year, Juma, are contributing to the development of this country. Enti Sadia, and then all money, yes, there should be a fairer system to be a kind. Into a say, however, refugees will never be in a better position than those coming to the UK on a recognized migration route, such as workers, who are subject to the usual standard settlement qualifying period of 10 years. Resettled refugees who have been granted protection and moved to the UK through official resettlement programs are intended to start at 10 years, bringing them in line with other arrivals on planned migration routes. Individuals who arrive on these routes will have a quicker route to settlement than those who claim asylum in country. This is justified on the basis that the caps for those routes will be diverse to reflect local area capacity to absorb. So it is appropriate to grant them a shorter pathway to settlement. And to say, your man for do omo here protection and kasa. And most of the people now, omo seek asylum no. Ebu okra like or war be na esi ni krom no aba be seek asylum no. Aba ni recognize omo say omo de omo like omo ni here mo they are fleeing danger. Into omo no the obema omo starting point no asha free 10 years. But aba ni say your man for bu omo seek asylum in country. In the white people no omo dwedwe mu kire say obu wa ba school the student visa na be expire na akwa kodi aduro. Obu the visit visa na aba oba ya na visit visa ni be wu na akwa kodi aduro. Into ono no say most of the people ni bu they are just using that means to get a stay with Kruma say. Into no omo de time bia no omo di ahoho. There is no way like obi free danger. Omo mo ne ho ban e ma ne be ntina. But omo say man for be use that system no just to say omo de be den. Ebeje nkata tina Kruma say. Into no person discourages her move no. Into say wow be in country there no. O de bit must start from 20 years ho kona. But obi a wo flee danger ebia yehu say akon bi asi ni krom ti say nka Ukraine any Russia kuntokwe obi anim say danger or and Iran for kuntokwe obi anim say danger or say any panel the oba obi a ohia protection it is for no qualifying period no e be start every day 10 years what you say here to aso or see the consideration informing the design will be based on 4 core pillars designed to ensure that applicants make a meaningful contribution to the UK society and meet clear measurable standards. These 4 core pillars will be intiabine say senebeya obe ensure fairer system nintino. On one of the 4 core pillars siwa or say more mubetman falling into sadi we no indefinite leave to remain bema because you are also working to contribute to the development of the country. Intino say no or say refugees will never be in a better position than ba what the work visa ba ya waba be ye adwuma okroma say or say yesisi mache e wo so ma a fairer pathway because ba ye no waba yi twa tax obi so okodi aduro no and offense so ba ye no ba ye na no onya benefit ye de na to hotel ya man accommodation ya ontwa danka week bi aban man is kedidi afi ye sad humanitarian visa ne krama na most of them no emfa nkopa adwuma nye and omo mfa nko school ye de mo ana wasawo owo ya na wasa the government na like otifie na buy ni born hoka after 5 years now ni nyina akwaji indefinite leave to remain osi akobasa won say there is not fair the system is not fair to mu amode work visa buy no what you say eno nti na okofa asa ade we nyina ba yo enti so bi ka cho say yes we be 10 years ansa na wenya indefinite leave to remain na me say 10 years ni gina mfimfini bra ne emum or the criteria bi ato ho a oya e bit ma tie aba 3 years and ani mebu ho so wanya u bit ma spend u bit ma last and ani mebu ho ya u bit ma e bit ma kosoro am akoko do 20 years impo enti ene no ne ye ba besuane enti one o say or the 4 core pillars e na agina ho 4 core pillars ne ba ko ye character ba ko ye contribution the etosu biem ye integration and the etosu biem so ye residence and eno no me ba be chire mu one after the other na ye dwedwam enti wuti kromo asisi a na wo ye bibi na wo wadwum se wo betina UK ha chede a na wa start e work towards it enti character ye head okafa character or say this reform system will as now provide for the refusal of application where core requirements relating where core requirement mommy train so kakra na mini yes me here ma be 3 nanka omu massage me make asa nyina wa bit ma volunteer ma me nti wudi comment section wa yeah to so character you heard okafa character when you see you know or the indefinite leave to remain be ma won tentem a ade se sa ne ma fo ya ode ato ho no o fole anda baako ana say wadi ni nyina so yeah to so you heard okafa character or say this reform system will as now provide for the refusal of application where core requirements relating to their character and conduct, for example, having a criminal conviction, non-compliance with immigration requirements and consideration pertaining to public good. It will be mandatory to meet such requirements and there will be no ability to trade with other considerations to determine the qualifying period. We will conduct a route and branch review of the criminality threshold that apply across all immigration routes. Our expectation is that you should not be able to settle with a criminal record. Revised threshold will be set out in due course. As they say, no, say who suban bonning, e wo kromasi a amfa ne ILR ma wo. Enti da bia me two boys ne for say, what ba kromasi na Awurade adom, bibini sonson ho. Menkoye kululu ni ene bia. Obi be catch us na ena ti say titiru ma boys ma me nkasa asem we. Boys amuti kromasi a market paper. Mudi jiska saka wafo na ewo Ghana, you should be very careful. And I'm more abrofo send phones any name be simu so na mo dia shepe saka wafo na ewo Ghana no. Be very careful. Udu paper account am obi a. Also make sure say wo login ni bi never the odeji because make sure first of all say eh wo address any udi no bi bia na wo so. Asema make minim de make. Because say Broni because ya twene di na the command FBI for near track ni be hu se scan be su no asende a chamai o record ase yo ye chew for fraud a e be se o record ye do be kwakoto DBS bad list so sa bad list no din komu a adwuma kura wunya bi nya wo krom ha enti da bia me catch say the entire most of the people no mu complain wo krom ase no okono obi box na ablo kire nya na se ni si a bibi se ne to ban o mekan no obu oba krom ase o criminal record enti adwuma bi obekom bia yemfa no enti ba akopɛ na wanya ne ho ana ɔhye ɛna no nso ɛden because just imagine say adwuma wo criminal record a wo kwa yebefa wo no ɛyɛ adwuma a wo betima feel okay wo because no obetwe di nti na wafa wo enti ono ɔkɔ na ɔhwɛ na yesi twini na ɔba na ɔde aba be kasa na wo Awurade adone bia wo hu so no you might think say saa na kuro ne tie enti wo say uyo obi a ukonya criminal conviction a ɔmfa ne ILR ma wo ɔmfa ma wo enti wo ba ha si a ukofro baasa twia ukofu train na twia menko wi ade wo store uniska fafom uniska de be fa train afafom and now there sometimes when any bus driver nen kasa say obi ene de wa short most of them now abada ye obemu afro dan say obe ye ho say wani ate unse landing bus de bi wo ha ni mu ni akire nyina abie tubo a unse nipa no mo si ni sifa akire na ma amofro mafro afa animu Bobo na by force wafa ekire ho de na fro driver ni kura hu won pomam na okasa wonsi a na o beye gagai otwa kotima wa obenya problem enko train station enko returns house obenya problem embebo yele wa ha enko no munsan ko twika enko twika wa bla ni driver's license sane ma we nyina no twu film nenya clean character enu obi ankoko enko fefe nkran ketewa kroma say chatting online with under the age of 16 years Only need this sexual nkomo krampo na ho ofe na den a eye crime. Most of them penyufo ni bebre o motete only fans na mo hwe nkora ho. And most of the people ni bo ha criminal record da wo so ntino. Baby nkora wo kra ye chine no nti UK so pan so wonkom. Obetina online on ka de why you. No akase ne kroma ne ye hye so e na kroma ne ye sei. Ntino o se bro ni so person won ne tena de a check your character. Check your character. Make sure say wonya den on fole enkotom. Into character ne de no ye to aso integration or say the reform system will ensure that applicants demonstrate meaningful engagement with the British society. It will only say ne they would a temporary visa so, but opesa won sa come indefinite now na me betena dia. I also want me prove it me say we are familiar with the British society. Kwan be na chesa we are familiar with the British society. One, Bruni kasa what ase. What my integrate when me wo krom ha say you know the life in UK. Inti also to me chira say why you integrated. Because Chroma say no, so why you social boa, ebe yo adwuma efie adwuma ni efie saa. Enti fa ho join clubs. Fa ho join asole, ko abrofo asole ye volunteering work. Nya namfofo wo city mu. Me already ado me very famous o me city mu. Because me said akọ snooker arena, na me bo snooker wo. Enti no boys say wo krom ni no munim me because so far me town mu de me said dan say obi onim bosse me. Na no na ase papa ba akopa bi kwachi bi twa me one side. But boys na omo me age na omo youth na me no omo di sa agro ni nyina no. Me de show omo nyina ntia no snooker ne nkwankwa mma ye famous. Me live stream am sole am ye na me nam street na bro fu yi ba so can we be they all know enkro mu ko school wo me city mu nyina they know say me ye streamer. E to be kwa na me ye live for abontia can't you see them so omo ba so. It's when nyina kire say you have really integrated into your society. Ye famous or cancel ho to be an anti-call cancel ho me pay adwuma o me pese me ye volunteering work my hu sie ni mu ha kwa abrofo asole the first say kwa abrofo asole wo city mu no wo benya na mfufo wom wona mabonte a obi timi frɛ na na agina di nkomo kro ma cameras bobo ba bia ni nyina me hu se why integrated sua kasa no oka bottle of water say sua kasa no be a bottle of water oh, nani nyina yehu se wetima integrate share the native British accent as your some phrase be local phrase and words be you use kroma kroma say no be ko toilet or say I'm going to the loo yen come your toilet and only a local brofo we ni nyina ye like some nitty-gritty be a chese why integrate unim system nim this look much better na much better okoka better or ntiase e be sound be different into what be try to integrate no system nim suomo tax system suomo bibia da gov.uk kenkan integration so de no you have had meaningful engagement with British society okona so mo park bi ben abrofo no ta bobo so akone kobo bi nyanamfofo ne ehun se o ba UK ha sei no you have really engaged with the society. What you say? Sanya we nyina ye sanya mani bi eka ho. Integration in the end na fe yanko contribution or say the reform system will reward individuals who have made a sustained and measurable economic contribution to the UK on the principle that any accelerated path to settlement should be earned through active participation in the economy. And to say obi ordinary indefinite leave to remain be mani you obi a konenya ne so mfa so. Enti makroninya wo so mfa so na osusu no ono so mfa ne mfa so ma. Enti no the next table no ebe kire yen sa ne ma we nyina ase kwan a wo be fa so aye no. Enti no nim 10 years ni gina mfimfini ene wa kire onye ma wo ye a ebetuma te 10 years ne so ene wa sa kire onye ma wo ye a esa de mfie ni bi be ka ho. Enti na me ka kire say indefinite leave to remain no enye 10 years de mum ode no na agina mfimfini ba ye onye mebu wo ha wo ye a ebeti 10 years ne so. Anyone never go away at the years in Beckham. And I said, wow, one contribute to the development of country. Also, so one your bonibia and Tiakruna, and over 10 years, pepe. What you say? 10 years in Nijin and Finfina. I a Jina Brani, a pivot, see a case pivot, a donko, seesaw up and down. That the Nijin and Finfina, no, the A movie, no. That is the pivot, so they are twasso. obeti ase into contribution no eno se one or se also you obi a wetima contribute to the development of this country. Utimi prove it. Now if you ever kwan a obetima fa so contribute to the development of this country, no asase ye hu adwuma ne. Ye to also residence, the to so be a residence or say the reform system will recognize lawful continuous residence in the UK. Individuals will not, however, normally qualify on the basis of residence alone. It was say, I was a way you be so what na krum has say continuously, even though any non quan be a key pointer or the bejan so in indefinite amount. It's more mo pa control be no obu and then me Ghana and then me kwa say and then me yes and then me yes. Yanka se me nko krum ba odi nka be yanko asisi a wo probation time ukura temporary visa ne de ka do ka be ko Ghana edu December awaje wo annual holiday no na wo de wo ye de na wo de wo ko bobu afimu ni nyina na okọ Spain na akotwa 1 month na okọ hase ekoba sa na ontena kronim continuously because krata na ye de ma na yamfa ma say fa be dadan ho fa ye adwuma na nya sika na kroni so nya wo so mfa so because e obi na bre ni moja ni ye adwuma and now by any more fa udu hit report to twa picture de na see nyum to ase menim say wo be ye mi say ya enka man suda when I'm like to be a question one fast and 2 video ase so it means say wo be dru asase ase na ha ye nikani kama wo ha ye fe e obi na ye adwuma na ye de aye bibini bible che ni etene task to bia na o teatem na wo ba na wo be du gacho airport wo under train na wo fire wo twa video wo ma wo nya ni onyam wo fie me ye hu se wa pia asase foforo so enye obi sika na ye de ye Chloe mo ba hasi a broni ma free allowance of 12,570 pounds. Obe any says kawi ansa ni asase ato tax. Still na bibini ani nso. Ghana ye free allowance ye saying 5,000 Ghana cedi. 5,100 Ghana cedi. But broni de 1.7 billion. As a 1.5 billion, 12,570 pounds converting away. And so still, bibini enye says kawe nyina wi ye shase ati 20% or tiantim. Na kudu sumo mo ye to mo 50% ni anade no. On a week oji 200,000 pounds na as a 300,000 pounds na. Ye ti 50%. Endi ko no de nkonya den. Onu nkonya den. Ukwa ba ye si ko upgrade wo na eji 30 pounds and ani ento kese kura no. Oda so nkoya upgrade, oda so ji 12 pound 21. Sen kwa na yeto tax yeto ko ndu 300 pound a month minka say nyeske yiska enso obetiantima complaint say dey ya gini sika nyina o de yeto aso afi yanko the next slide na intime mu addition no chafi yanko table ni so ne yehwe kwan ya befa so a ye de indefinite ne be maye na wo bibia na was starting in 10 terms sisi a untimi so anu afa bag kofie obi anfle wo ha obi na oye de ebeboa ne kuro ni wa wabem to wugidi se witimi ni so enye force o tena se complain a medwen ho a menti ase ko bibidi yeah to us the next table say an outline of how the proposed end settlement system would work is set out in the table below. In these tables, criteria that applicant must meet to be considered or in say no do need in indefinite manner a consideration or consider because still first no ma menka no kure nche first no na abrofu no kura hu ni say ye ne consider mo ne aba ba ye adwuma mo but mo kotonton COS no amu say na ye kwa ye hu ne kura no visa ne kwa ye mfa nje sa enti se Ghana ni ono na ba etimi ton COS krata Ghana ni oba etimi ton COS krata me demand 520 pound e di mani ni o Ghana 24,000 pound mani timi twia ba de a ene ne nkrofo yi omunye ye kuro ne so mfa so wa bra ye de ni say ye kwa ni omo ba be boa you ana ye kwa ni ehia omo no say omo hia ye kwa dance ye hia omo because insane say we betwa 30,000 and the aba kuro ma say I don't think am because me see during the 2020 they were begging people to come here and work until omo na hia ye and until na there was more incentive e wo visa we dey ba any more promises but say no ya mo ma hu say ye kwa ye hia omo more because who akwa wait ma ko to visa ono ne de ma 520 pound wait ma ko to no 24,000 dia ene se mo hia yen so mo se na ade ne sitie no so bibini e me kire mu sei enkire ni nua ma ne ntiase o na ono no parking kan okọ obi life so anipa ni complain say ahanye na no so ati mu bi no oka bi onkosua ade ne ntiase tirimponti abroni eye sa ade we me se me on da me kan white paper na me say hey me de Awurade ase insiranka Awurade na nyame so nhyira broni papa odi eto aso ye chire maba na afi wo beti ase ye to aso say an outline of how the proposed end settlement system would work is set out in the tables below. In these tables, criteria that applicant must meet to be considered or that may increase or reduce the qualifying period for settlement are linked to the 4 pillars set out above, which is the idea can hear, you know. It's 4 pillars, you know, the kujina contribution, integration, character, and a residence. And 170 account was wrong. After Yamra down was say eligibility for settlement mandatory requirements into when you force requirements so kwakoje ILR e was sa niema we no utimi hyemu bi enye sa won sanka intime kirew no wa bo homodin na se lawyer bi kura na e ama wa na old boy bi a watena ha che ana obi na so wo ya ama wa hu se sa niema 3 we unimu a enkwasi usika obegye di ontimi nyama wo into was say eligibility for settlement mandatory requirements. See, I can't be a mandatory by force. Yeah, to also. Or say, there will be minimum mandatory requirements that all applicants must meet in order to be granted settlement. These are set out in table 1 below. We are not consulting on whether these should be included in the end settlement model with the exception of contribution, where we are consulting on the length of time the requirement to have an end income should apply to. Ain't you know? Or say any dear, Sani Mammy and Sawi pana, a year idea ye forcer. And was say which me a day, a shemubi and son of the indefinite leave to remain amount. Now, in as much says Sani Mammy and Sawi na ye force an idiot. 2 na canon, which is the suitability and the integration in or more dream one says still no mamma ye forcer by contribution in dear Ojina Brane. Still na a force. Or so contribution kwa dear. What you say? Or say contribution in dear, I know dear a force Ojina Brane. But even though Sanya Mammy and Sawi or your mandatory say we shim, but in as much saying I mandatory in dear suitability and integration in the more dream will be a more money major and as a mandatory requirement. But contribution dear Ojina Brane, te say bear money, bear major swan opa. O can it to a kuri ye, and I say unam krum, na asoli a jina. A man, I am a monkwana munya cramps in Nadiana. Obema pija, ewa, so okoye worship wa solid, and okoye Bible studies. Na enwa de ne pass solid. This old one says so bottom by force. Boys, baby, woman, come says so bottom, and you why a speaker. I just open the bass now the box and out so now a microphone. It's yes, your man, yes, you're facing your man, baby. Getting erection in public. When I said I could to us, or bonny lays, I say, oh, boy, I didn't celebrate. Yeah, to us. Oh, what's I know like in one say, Shema, you know, me to be a son of lawyer be other than a Jinisika. And I say, Ubi or Chikruma say, Aqua Jinisika. Very big shout outs to lawyers and more chromas. I'm a boy in Yan Ghana for. I've never disputed my work, but agenda for fake one for video more frame of Mubu or many massy. It is a motor some color asma a yomuna maker and yamu papa more Ghana mine. And I Ghana this year are going to why very respect to Munina. We are done to make a strong lawyers. I mean, some way no quaffo. Name do ma join me group na afi no. Obi we here I say a bia na lawyers biblia church them say woman say we will group you will say your Ghanaian community on person we say no mo boa but most of them on the agenda na e ba ntima ho do omu nyina me mfa obi ameka me am gusu di menu to form ah me nim so lawyer we do woni pa ho abotre obetima boa na ye group na ye community na ya tena ye 1024 no me de na ba be shim na me am di ni ho adanse say lawyer we die okọ no ho Awurade adom obenya abotre ti wasem Awurade ya adom obetima boa enu bi na ye pe enye obi a na ye be na be shim no obegye amanfo sika di ke no pa kroma into was say there will be minimum mandatory requirement that all applicants must meet in order to be granted settlement. These are set out in table 1 below. We are not consulting on whether these should we are not consulting on whether these should be included in end settlement model with the exception of contribution. Where we are consulting on the length of time, the requirement to have an end income should apply to. What you are saying? Sometimes it will be ebi so almost say adwen won say ebi answer kra na obi nya around na wo say wutiminya income bia obe any they are also thinking about that one nso so what they are saying na bibia so it might come afi yanko table 1 minimum requirement into when a minimum requirement in way a minimum. What you are saying to us, minimum requirement that an applicant for settlement must meet to qualify. Ain't you know, we require a minimum, but we require a minimum. No, Sani mami and sa we need a force, but almost more general say be suitability and integration. You know, ebe like ebe cost remaining in minimum and I see ebe like major requirement, but also contribution there. O jinamu pa. Table 1 suitability. They are not sure suitability. Will say the applicant must meet suitability requirements for an application as set out in part suitability of the immigration with, for example, not having a criminal conviction. Ten who has suitability answer na yadebe man also will be a clean character. So benya ayrawa men kunya criminal record ko bibini wa be ya woda with temporary visa so a wo 5 years probation to niema yie men ko kate corners men ko kate men ko yikululu bia unim say driver's license exams untimi nkoya eno ano no foul bus tina kroma say no bro ni nim say nya obi a de betimanya license atoka ntina ne bus ne nso no waye bus kwan mana bus kura ni traffic so se ne be ya obi ntimi mfa car metwa obi ampoa nti kroma say no na you know like ne transport system ne very effective ye adwuma so ka so de care come so me the train ba ye nyina ye beduru ayo kra me duru agya because me di traffic so and I walk on class, won't me my family mu. Won't me my family basilemu, Obeboka. And to him say, won't me in train cha. Won't be in train cha. Sofa or car, and our sofa way. And our park or tow electric scooter and engine so. Beno cramp in your city behind your Makwama Uchi. And your fury be out of my e-bike, I've been seeing them because of the lithium battery new woman. Almost say it me cause a fire. But anyways, I know your topic for another day. Young Twasso. It is suitability. Also, we will be a clean record. A clean record, what I say. We will be uncle die, uncle Fefia, crack to be uncle Riade, uni criminal uncle Chika, or brown driver's licenses, uncle no uncle Chika, uncle will be, will be uncle Tokwa. And sometimes Kruma young Kumaha, Utimuko warehouse, Indian, Pakistan, be, ubit make a can have natural, so nem minute. Ubet me did not tembia, ultimate song so I mean Casso could not tem, but so but bonnet and also fake kawa in chilling in Namun common. Men cotton, Sako bini. The toss be an integration or say the applicant must be able to evidence that they meet English language requirements, which will be at B2 level under the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages. And or say one also with me prove so children under the integration, you know. The edit can also to me prove it and say what's a brofo. Uyo be a what's a brofo. I follow or fashion. Crying boy, unim say boys in girls in be domiciliary no. Un say obi shift to Mukusia. Maybe the same client no a Ghana ni bani Ghana ni beman ebi ebesia. Sana jono obiti omutimi wi service user ni fio. Ye fa say bia me ye care work me ye dom. And our baby so ye be nyina shift na ba be 90 no ye nyina na ye bo 90 no dia hwe nipa na oyare na say vulnerable people do say o motama services ane da akokora ne da na aberwa ne da na okodi no wasiala yi say obi amukoye adwuma na ho na wuko na mukra de ba asem kra na mo ye okrom hana ade bibini timi ye no medwe wa menti ase wu we are making obi asempa na maboso ojina life ne so ne yam si ahye no se sawa adwen yase ye betew obi a wokoye adwuma obi yale na wasa akodi agu ni so be de na papa yi ho ato no o de da ko meba sa topic ni so o de ye to aso da ko meba sa topic because ni ade bibini timi ye no won metimi twi ho amenti ase o de meba so. And to say also you will be able to me prove it and say what's a brofo. I will come and say at least you go and write the English language test. You have to prove to them say who will B2 at least who will B2. What I say and on your qualification you did two testing so what's a brofo up to the B2 level. And with the integration. And at the possible say the applicant must be able to evidence that they have passed the life in the UK test. And to me say life in the UK test and so no. What you say life in the UK test no obetwere it me da bia me ka say Opekra men train ma 5 years ne nso ansa no akotwere. Sisi a wote a wo adwemi sa wo betina kuma se agye indefinite leave to remain no. Suade ne practice. Na twere to. You go kuma say the time bi omo sesa omo niema. Hwe oba pa se meboa. Odi tena ho. Odi da komeba so me di odi ma mento aso. Into life in the UK test no. Kone ko practice. Sisi a wo ba wo ye young boy a unya nwoye. Oba bia nte so ankwa na agbo hard no. Wo time so obesua de nti wo ye student a usua o normal course no. Na usua life in the UK ni so aka ho. Obetima practice questions no over and over. Na akwa to. Nti bedu time a wo apply for indefinite leave to remain. Bibia nsi wo kwan no traffic on the road. Because be bedu sa time no. Na afia se ho pressure ni anade no unya stable mind kwa na wo de esua akotwere. Na wo feli na enu nso delay niema. Tisisia na bibia ye no sua ne kotwere to. Wo Ghana kwa fe na oba abrochira. Ubetima sase esua life in the UK no. Ubetima to book ni bi, ubetima practice questions no over and over. E wo Ghana mpo ansa no waba. Tu baba be du kroma se na uni mama mele no uni bibia. Ene ya type kroma ancient English movies ni bi so hwe. Ah. Yeah, I'll post on YouTube, Martin. What do you post? Me post was Smoggy TV, SMOGI TV. Why? What you say? Pesal ancient movies ni be said Vikings, Viking Valhalla, Game of Thrones ni another. And most of them talks about the history of England. Bobo ma him for ne omo yinidi e ma hu baby akro we free dey eba. What you say? Na be also to my comment. It was say the applicant must be able to evidence that they have passed the life in the UK test. Ya fe yanko contribution or say applicant has contributed to the exchequer by having annual earning above 12,570 for a maximum of 3 to 5 years, subject to consultation. It was say about contribution so just how do about come say no onye she kura no. Also you will be after say would you free allowance of 12,570 no. What shall say tax for a minimum of 3 to 5 years. What I say, but no say is subjected to consultation. It was in line with the current threshold for paying income tax and national insurance contribution, which is the NICS, or an alternative amount of income. It also you will be a way to contribute to the development of the country by paying tax and sign away a minimum mandatory requirement. What do you say? After young course, eligibility for settlement, the qualifying period under an end settlement model. Kind below no. Or say it is proposed that consideration causing the baseline qualifying period to be adjusted upwards or downwards should be those set out in table 2 and 3. And it say no ye kwa kwhwe adon ko na odi agina 10 years ne so no ne akwa kwhwe de wo ya ebete so aba be si 3 years ana de wo ya edi bi be ka ho amu akwa si 20 years to wo hana wo ye oniema no nkwa be fa so ototo oniema so opese otena blu chiriche de ya se won pese obeji indefinite de ya ene na why ye oniema ntem na wo ko ha nti nya force utrem na wo complain a medwen ho amenti ase obetuma fa bag na wo kofie obia force obia e wo kroma. Also, it is proposed that the consideration causing the baseline qualifying period to adjusted upwards or downwards should be those set out in table 2 and 3. In the table na ye ba behwe no eye de wo ya ebemu wanya less than 10 years or de wo ya ebetumi do akwa do 20 years. And so sanima we nyina ye ka nyina ne yenya njintum afi no mo dwen ho they are still debating about it, but probability say ombedia tum no probability ombedia tum ne high. But omuguso dwen ho but yesu ase na be ye ko ba se omadia tum a you know what to do. People to what you say. It was say for the purpose of any particular application where more than one consideration in one of these tables applies, only one of them, example, the one that causes the largest adjustment would be applied. It was say table na ye kwa akusua no se ko ba se niema mienu ever say bia se omo consider o contribution to the development of the country and also no mo gina de ILR na mawa na se bia wa ye niema mienu under contribution a ombefa ba ko a e make big changes and say bit ma boa eno no ombefa but what I say to the end kind be mo say for the purposes of any particular application, where more than one consideration in one of these tables applies, only one of them, example, the one that causes the largest adjustment, would be applied. In the example, say be a contribution or be a wage tax, because so why volunteering worker, Okay, so yes, we tax na say to 2 years. Na emu we volunteering work na to 5 years a. Obefa volunteering work na we ye na na dia to so. San so na ukodi bone. Ebia bone a we ye ukonom nsa twika entina eye plus 2 years. And e bi so a oni akora osu akoda eye plus 5 years a. Obefa plus 5 years no. Ha sa na opese o kire. Ti me gidi se obi ate ase. Ti ma me san kan fa so bi na me san kire mu se na be obi abeti ase. Nti o say for the purposes of any particular application where more than one consideration in one of these tables applies, only one of them, example, the one that causes the largest adjustment would be applied. But where a consideration in each table applies, the adjustments will be combined. For example, where the relevant adjustment for a particular applicant are that the applicant had been in receipt for public funds for less than 12 months, but meet the C1 level English consideration. There will be an upward adjustment of 5 years and a downward adjustment of 1 year, resulting in an overall upward adjustment of 4 years, making the applicant totally qualifying period 14 years. All measures in these tables are subjected to. Into the opposite, sometimes so no say ade ni kosia yemfa ne say bia amba mesia e wo baby baako bia eba integration which measure English language ekura C1 level. What you say? Ukra C1 level a ye ko table ba ko na mo beti ase. O say so wetimi share English language na wunya C1 level a etim fie no so ba ko ba 9 years. Enti yamfa ne say bia what share English level no etima atwere exam na ukra C1 enti 10 years na obedi no ate so about 1 year. But one mu no what's the government benefit sa and what the government benefit a plus 5 years. Enti afi no obete one in afim na you say o the 5 na what's the government benefit na ba be kan. Na you say we be 14 years. Into the young next table no. Your next table na obeti ase. Young next table, your next table na obeti ase. It is obi we catch you saying indefinitely leave to remain here 10 years ah. Me say onim the o kika. Obi say that what if you have a degree, do you still need to write English language? Ukra degree, you are already classified as a high school migrant. Because our qualification now Ukraine is equivalent to RQF 6. It is equivalent to RQF 6. Yeah, it's just what table of function wait to mention they could do certain time. Most of the time, you know. Well, nurses for Ukraine or more degree. No, I don't think somebody nursing could ever come as some could try IELTS. I stand to be corrected. What you say? I think this is more they care visa buy, you know. And omuni degree ni ana the nominate could try IELTS, you know. But I don't think say Ukra degree. I was degree and doing degree work. Obu okra degree so oye menian job. I don't know why, but anyways, yeah, it was because a menian job you boni because Kuma say no, we are high school migrants and they want you to fill the high school vacancies na wo. Enti afei no table ni nie. Hey, masa kwa dem boy me so Ghana na chire me brofo na nye kuruma Ghana na chire consultation you know me to aso kan friend to say all measures in these tables are subjected to consultation except the reduction for dependent of Britain citizens for British national overseas, which is the BNOS you know British BNOS here British national overseas visa de ma Hong Kong for what I say Hong Kong I think say China for the moment to the hono crowd I wouldn't waste my time with her. It was saying near we are actually table we no is subjected to consultation. I just said yeah a comma BNOS for no. Omana I think say the mind fixed into yeah the services and so what I say yeah any services and so into men can and one some young consider table 2. Consideration that will reduce the baseline qualifying period. Note, only one of the listed consideration, example, the one that causes the largest reduction, would be applied in the case of any single application. The additional years will take precedence over any reduction to the baseline. Instead of the kind bruni on disadvantage into a say nyama we no. Oh yeah. Dear why na assume na a bit matter where you so about 5 years or less than 5 years no na obehwe what you say they be making the largest adjustment no no the be adwuma what you say into no say na me di kan you know qualifying period ni 10 years Why ne be 10 years? Do be 10 years you will be a one year boni bia wo krom ase. No no nso so a one san contribute to the development of the country. Ono ne de ubedi 10 years ansa na wenya ILR. Na emum ukoya boni wo krom ase ya years a obe plus ne yeden e wo ho. Ena se wo ye papa nso so a years a obe plus ne nso yeden like obe te so yeden e wo ho. Pepa to ati ase years a obe te so ne yeden e wo ho. Enti afe yenko integration. Or say applicant has competency in English language at C1 level under the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages -1 year. Enti no qualifying period near 10 years. Nemum uyo obi a wetima train English language, you know. What you say? Uyo obi a wetima train English language, you know. So that means those who are already in the UK aren't part of this. No, it is still under consultation. Whether it will work retroactively or retrospectively, so then the omo bluff no. Enti no omo guso odwen won say we no obi wo mu dada e koma no ana obi obewura mu na e be kwama na omo guso odwen wo mu nyanka ho asem. We ni nyina na make ho asem ya nyintu mu e ya de omo guso odwen won ba de enti am kire ne say probability say obo be dia to be high because book no e wa ni me wo mu doors bro ni transit ntwere we bebebe we just like that farm to. Enti means say most of the things in that federal pathway to settlement documents, and most of them will work. What you say? By boy, be on be year free man. I say, be making some changes. Be into say qualifying period in 10 years. Then so we will be a what much English language, you know. What table of foot to the C1 level -1 year. Then say we have certificate now. Within 9 years, we can apply for indefinite leave to remain. Yeah, to also which is for integration. Enti ade abro ni di hu se why integrate e woni krom ne se oteblofo. Enti wo se oteblofo a -1 year. Na se wo de obedi 9 years ansa na why den. When you ILR. Yanko contribution was say applicant has earned a taxable income of 125,000 140 125,000 140 pounds for 3 years immediately prior to applying for settlement. -7 years. Enti o say uyo obi a wet ma ko school edu akire wa upgrade wo ho. Uye adwuma papa. Enti afimu ni nyina no o taxable income 125,000 which mean any 125,000 pounds in the last 3 years and then I will apply for settlement -7 years. Enti na manfo metima upgrade omo ye adwuma afimu ni nyina no mutimi na 125,000 no. There's a highly skilled migrants. Highly skilled migrant obu awaye ono ani business. And now I sika bi eba accounts mu bia na eduru. Enye adesua nko like sika bi eba accounts mu bia na afimu ni nyina no utimi nya duru 125,000 pounds abai ne te tax free su bia no. -7 years. Enti say lotto kura no akodi bet kura no akodi den the odi bia when sika yetima te tax a up to 125,000 140 because of say ya te because any 125,000 it means that no tax ye bet no over 50% and I say e be kura 50% and e be kura 50% to enti wo no na just aban na nya wo so mfa so enti wo no what contribute highly through tax into what the -7 years. Now say we do 3 years which me kwaje wo indefinite leave to remain. The possible say applicant has earned a taxable income of 50,000 pounds for 3 years immediately prior to applying for settlement -5 years. It's more also annually more earning 50,000 pounds taxable income. So yeah, adwuma which mean 50,000 pounds annually -5 years. Tinya ka kire boys say munsu adwuma wo mo upgrade mu ho. Mo upgrade mu ho. Enti no so you obi a utimi any 50,000 wo -5 years. Na say what dey still na no ubedi 5 years na no wenya wo ILR because you are also contributing because so we any 50,000 pounds and above. I think say you better to be 40%. Yes. I stand to be corrected. I think it's about 40%, yes. because basic rate, you know, which is the BR on your mom any less than 50,000 annually. It is any 51,000 or 50,270 now. Minus 5 years. Minus 5 years. Now, say, won't be 5 years in a way. After young to us will say, applicant has been employed in a specific public service occupation for 5 years. Minus 5 years. It's a public service. More year police, nurse, and then the keka home, mamu bus, mamu ye teachers, mamu ye, mamu bua society, mamu bua more minus 5 years because coding yamo son faso. Into uchi bus, uchi train, uye teacher ni, uye nurse ni, uye then prison officer. Wow, uye public service biano. Minus 5 years. Nurse sa for ni na no 5 years and sana o menya mo ILR. Oh, entino ohwe na yi na o kan nyina na o person who contribute to the development of the country and sana the benefit amount. Also kroni nya o so mfaso. What you say? Because I say ya omun is ya twa o media che. Bibini ba ya na obenyama wo. No oje benefit after 5 years. No asakwa akwaje ILR. Na wo na osu be ye adwuma twa tax na wo ni nyina akwaje pe. Obi bedi adura onye adwuma na oje universal credit na oni ni nyina akwaje ILR. And no motena so no say no. Yes, amount for bi say na me di ka kan ye no. It was say applicant has been employed in a specific public service occupation for 5 years, minus 5 years. The atosubium applicant has worked in the community volunteering minus 5 years. Enti oya volunteer work at the boa community minus 5 years. Oya volunteering minus 5 years. Into the name of free suru benyinan ebie no awo mu anko bibini sha ase ye volunteering per one of the charity shops ewo krom ha sei ne ko register ho ne ko ye volunteering ko bibini volunteering ye ni fixed hours abayi o hours awo pe na abeka che obe pe kro be man ka che say the whole week obe 1 day per 1 day ko be 2 hours per still na no uye volunteering ukoye to ho acha adwuma and most of volunteering work in the kra no ombet matwa wo train na offer baaye ombama wo aduane adi most of the shops no so volunteer wo ha unya gym discount o gym a okono omama discount wo ho etebo no so ma most of the charity shops no oto ade wo ha o discount wo ho what you say o discount wo ho. Enti volunteering de unye waba kroma na unye bia kwene koye bi na apart from no krampo no esa aboa wo unya links because oma no mkoye volunteering no eya abrofo eyo krom hafo oma papa no ne wo companies oma na mfofo ne wo companies kroma akra ko pay adwuma na the reference shawo na e volunteering reference emo du ko bibini we yamfa ma hye wutirima ansa na wahu fa hu gym ebia Saturday ebia wo de tena fie no no akoye retail be 2 hours bi say cleaning no akoye community wana bia say oboko ko join team bia mo sesa enwura bi wa ya no mo ye fanfare bi wo baabi na mo peke ni nyina e volunteer ni bi volunteer mi bia wo de vulnerable people call work we ye say ni nyina e volunteer ni bi ubenya connections wo ho ubenya adwuma wo ho obi was me the student na ba mi wie mi nya adwuma uni connections kono obi refer ko volunteer we be hiesie abrofo ankokrafo asikafo ne bebre omoye volunteer de tene tene omapom okọ no ohun ye youth obi say den na wo ye one bebi wa adwuma ne yili bi wa adwuma odo be kwa akọhye wo be ma sponsorship ko bibi ni ko NHS ko ye volunteering ye be ma sponsorship tu be tena sia complain akosi wa hwe information we see they working in hospital as volunteer. Nana mama te. We volunteer in hospital ana. Me be line to my no be experience why. Minimum be a when COS through NHS volunteering work. Na de tena won team. Ne kotie enye for no. Ko we mu no, me se wa hwehwe information ma ho. Oba akwa de ogidi aka bia no, uwi a wankasa ko hwese e ampa ko your research. Me rely on the maka nko a. Ye to aso. Enti no so we volunteering worker was minus 3 to 5 years So it means say minus 3 to 5 years sometimes it will based on how long are you volunteering, any send we see dedicated to Hama or community no pa what you say. After entry and residence or say applicant holds a permission as the parent or partner child of a British citizen and meet core family requirements minus 5 years. Into be a ukunu and as a dependent here, a British passport no minus 5 years. Next, will be 5 years now when you indefinitely leave to remain. Or are you be a Ukraine or a citizen of Krumas here minus 5 years. What I say so mujituma. The atosubium or see another is not subjected to consultation. As I know the make your mind says sanity. Tiavan say and the menu will be a British passport now. Wawalimia, me 5 years and send me indefinitely leave to remain, not subjected to consultation. The autosubium applicant holds a permission granted under the BNO route, which is the British National Overseas and American visa edema Hong Kong China for because I think say Britain colonizing Hong Kong. What they are saying, almost no. Into almost another minus 5 years into ukra BNO which is the British National Overseas visa nibino. And on Hong Kong for no the moment, obi be catch us bit my BNOS amawa or your chrome for service and a Hong Kong near you for near the moment you can go and read about it. Yeah, to also. Applicant has 3 years continuous residence as the holder of a permission as a global talent worker or innovator founder. And no man we are high skill talent in Crofona with the global talent visa by more under the innovator founder visa, which is the INF. Innovator founder visa ni visa ya dema omo o me bi adwuma e wo krom ha o ma bi omo business we bi ono ani business wo krom ha see no minus 7 years because wo no so we bi business na ebumi a utwa higher tax na ma aban no enti no wo say no o contribute to the development of the country enti minus 7 years aban ne say minus 7 years minus 7 years. Into no, Kroma say o set one kasa business and our company and for so also. You can switch to the innovator founder visa route, minus 7 years will be now ILR. The authors will be acknowledgement of specific and vulnerable groups having a reduction into and they are subjected to consultation. Because vulnerable groups are will be a and American or vulnerable what they say. Your case will be a vulnerable, will be in a way no less privilege. What you say, almost here subjected to consultation. If you do mobidia and send on with the IR number. Into the money buy a come was. I feel quite a last slide. Now, if you know, Yantiasia. Engine ye baby line out too. Now, man for about so about a my being. Near I say, Bruni time be near. With the more. Yeah, to also contribution, I say applicant has been in receipt of public funds for less than 12 months during route to settlement plus 5 years. And where so yeah. Obida, can you go over the point? Massa, must spend about 3 hours at church and you go over saying, I don't boy me. Now me get a club, sir. We have a quack post to YouTube, no quack of why. I'm going to post to YouTube, Smoggy TV, no alcohol. Why? Hey, nobody's here to go over. Chama, what do you do now? So I say, I feel near my way about 2 into near my way at Betty at the end of so about do 10 years, and 1 7 American, and near my way a bit more 2 more could do 20 years, and 1 7 as they say about running Tierney. Near my bit mum did 20 years and send away your eye out. The other kind contribution applicant has been in receipt of public funds for less than 12 months during the route to settlement plus 5 years. I see that the tables are not clear anymore. Are they Quite boy moon table here. Maybe my mamma. Oh, so me who you were say another boy. Me who you are. Okay, it's clear. And a time I be if you why. Yeah. And I say applicant has been in receipt of public funds for less than 12 months during route to settlement plus 5 years. And to also you'll be our benefit less than 1 year Na say wo no unya the government benefit pay. Ubedi 15 years and then when you indefinite leave to remain. Hey, 15 years. DNT because they want to encourage people to work. Ye nyina ye meye adwuma ne emfa mu akuro no. Men ko tenafie wa bla obi wa onyare bibia anye no. Enso ompa adwuma. Otifie no wagi universal credit. Into also what the government benefit a year plus 5 years. To weigh adjustment to baseline qualifying period. Adjustment to baseline qualifying period. Oje government benefit less than 12 months a year plus 5 years. Now so we be 15 years. And then when you ILR, the autosubium applicant has been in receipt of public funds for more than 12 months during route to settlement plus 10 years. Into what the government benefits are more than 1 year plus 10 years. Na say uno e ko ka 10 years na e pivot no. E dina blane ne ho a wo be 20 years and say when you ILR. Enti no o kire niyama a wo ye betete so. Na ye say o say kire niyama o ya e betima mo wache. Enti no so ukoji benefit a plus 10 years. Next, will be 20 years and send when you're ILR. Yan to us be or see entry and residence. Applicant arrived in UK illegally, example via small boats, clandestine, plus 20 years. Enti ukofen so be work illegally plus 20 years. Next, a wono ubedi 30 years and send when you're ILR. Hey! I ask them, it's waiting that they just want to discourage people from entering the country illegally. So, because said an amount for city boat to back room and say, you know, now a dozen, a day, and within a week, nipa 1,000 timid boat to be William. So, into I think say we know, say home secretary, no, man, no more stress, I do say a buffet or Makuma because, plus 20 years, the assassin. Nay, say, offense so and I be welcome illegally. Uko show be contain them near the Ubi William as a winning system in the name of Ura Konim illegally. Example, so far small boat and a bill more plus 20 years. Necessary panel. Obedi 30 years or Krum has say. And son our heading. What you say? And son when ya ILR. To wow fast wow be fast small boat to their bar and I say clandestine. You can't say clandestine. Brofana say obi a ase we ha secret and I say what hide oh like obu a bia or northern Ireland and a trailer bi da could in the trailer e could deliver goods we be a Scotland and northern Ireland and o share trailer nim na and a crew fi bi call France and na nipa no area no hu share trailer nim and a bia or the be UK what you say ni nyina ye illegal way or an illicit or an authorized way of entry into the country. What are the channel say plus 20 years. Plus 20 and the to be applicant entered the UK on a visit visa. Plus 20 years. And this all the visit visa and be real kruma say na wo take care more. Ubedi 30 years and son when you ILR. Hey. You know, I don't see so would you tuma applicant entered the UK on a visit visa and what here came plus 20 years. Applicant has overstayed a permission for 6 months or more, plus 20 years. And you know overstay over Sanswa, plus 20 years. After young kind of was a name fancy. Now yama for so emeka. Or see this consultation includes questions intended to seek respondents' views on the impact of the proposed model. Further information on how the criteria are intended to work is set out below. Into the way no say I do more dream why in to what do you say? And when a consultation includes questions and intending to seek respondents into the omedi aba amount for measure views na say you na adwen ko bemkom say oh sa emla we de ye nyin tuma answer no magi atum or see the table above set out how the baseline qualifying period may be adjusted upwards or downwards in order to meet the qualifying period requirement. The applicant will as now need to have spent the required period of time in the UK in a route or routes that leads to settlement. The immigration rules will specify which routes lead to settlement and which do not. And it is not intended that the position as to which routes fall into each category will change.
Figure 1 above set out those routes which currently lead to settlement. A consequence of the proposed system is that there will no longer be a separate long residence route. The purpose of the existing long residence route will be superseded by arrangement in which the baseline qualifying period is adjustable for consideration related to contribution and integration. Contribution and integration. Under these proposals, the qualifying period for settlement may be reduced where criteria relating to the applicant's contribution and integration are met. In the case of integration, it is proposed that the applicant may qualify for reduction in the qualifying period on the basis of working in the community or having proficiency in English that is higher at C1 level or above than the minimum level of proficiency B2 level required to qualify for settlement. In the case of economic contribution, the government view in that arrangement for settlement should reward those who are making the greatest contribution and that earning are the best means of objectively measuring economic contribution. This consultation therefore seeks views on linking and reduction to earnings and specifically a proposal. This let me read it and say. To also say. This consultation therefore seeks views on linking and reduction to earnings. There specifically a proposal that applicants should attract a shorter qualifying period for settlement if they have in the 3 years immediately prior to applying and in a taxable annual income above £50,000 or £50,270, earning a reduction of 5 years, or £125,140, earning a reduction of 7 years. These thresholds have been selected as they equate to the current threshold for payment of income tax at the higher and additional rate, respectively. Note, it is not, however, the proposal that these income-related thresholds will track future changes to tax system. Almost amanfo bi sisi amanfo bi. What I say? Almost amanfo bi sisi amanfo bi. There should be a fairer system. Sometimes we are upgrading or any match. Maybe annually no any 51,000 and above into only 40%. Now we be so any less than 29,000 annually. No necessarily pani na kwa ILR after 5 years. Chabani who say the system is not fair to some people. Obi timi ba be di aduro. Obi di aduro na yama humanitarian visa na yama refugee status. Na e ho na wa sha se benefit. Obi okon koye adwuma. Obi di aduro na no owo ya no asaba be government benefit no tifie. After 5 years, only wow the work visa ba ya. Mube rema mu ye adwuma ni nyina se kwa akwaje indefinite leave to remain. And na ba ni hwe no say na there should be a fairer system. What you say? Yeah, enti na oni nyina na mabobo so no. Video we may save na me dey go to YouTube say na be ya obit manya abotre no wahwe na be bia wogidi say obit ma falling in a bit ma bo ama say in case omugi tuma wo IRA na eden aba form no, then you start making preparation towards that. I think say the one na air fokura wo me volunteering no and no dey obit ma kwa akoye bi ti duru wa akwaje wo IRA akwaje klata every baby akọ volunteer no match say oh only why volunteering will have for maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. They be now ye our and answer what you say. Na ye dey akwa to. Obi bi say be YouTube channel ni din saying my main fan to so any Smogi TV, SMOGI TV. And that one SMOGI TV. Obi timi akọ subscribe it. I think say medical ya ba akọ da. Obi timi akọ hwe no. But the name so na the match eche mu na ebi a affiliate de chire ne so a mesa repost we so na me de akọ to no ma to need fairer pathway to settlement P version got for say na be ya obetima akọ hwe na a differentiate from the first one na be post here no. It is Smogi TV any obetima akọ hwe if you na ekọ no any update bi a bia na mekan na baba be dwedwa mu say ya say na me ye white paper because time white paper ne buy no mu de ehunhun be sha manfo mu na me say there bia dey we was metimi edwedwam na manfo timi hu broni bi anya na adwen so bepamu obi anti akonfo ni bi na na say wona ye fake like omutwa manfo di okru ma say no ma story o ma sase asore o wa ma na ma anya bibi ama wa o mo ba be sesambra no na manfo ho pero mo but white people ye bedwedwam ye hu say say anya sa na tie So that could in the course of this week the message of white paper number ni assess and ni adwudwam na we say ntia mnofo no omoto obo danim omo sesa immigration rules no during the 2025 July 2025 no omo sesa immigration rule ni nyina no worry say eye bibini ntina broni make changes wona ayimu ana. So inti no ono prefer system obi oyekululu bia na ade we obenya ho asemaka me de bia me ka say ade a so me the qualifying period ne ko 10 years the only disadvantage I mean and the oka meti ase ne say renewing your visa na wutwa IHS na wutwa application fee so wonu abusuanfo aya na kane wo soro obu wa bi oba wa wutu wa wo 3 enipa ba ko bia no it means spending up to 3,000 pounds it some 5 na say wo no okeka ko be 15,000 no what you say and then the oka meti ase ba be ka che me say o time bibini na o de person de ne ye nko asoma ansa no masa obi kuro ni o ono no ya de bebo ani kuro because ya abuses most of it like ya abuses system no unze bruni nko person de ne benefit ma obi a wo hia na yeso so de bibini o hu bibi a connection what you say ya inti no Conrad mi bie tuma no wa be ka unison ho asem why me de minim inti no o de inti ye nyina ne enye ogidi nkwa na ye teacher wa ha o wa wani ji adwumade bia a wonim se wo information bia ebetuma boa wo bibia no me bia la ni tuma no ba beka o pekra betuma me no wa ye one-on-one interview on the life no wa chire na amanfo hu because ye lack information unti na kroma ye ba bibifo ye ntimi drive no ye lack information so unti na dia wakwaya aboa wo no bra be share your WhatsApp group ya tia eye for Ghanaian community a nsem bisi ya ne ka wom ye posti adwuma so wo pese join ya number ne da on testing ne mfa nka ho ye first group ne nipa 1024 ene wom ayema ene ya sa ate foforo ene nso gusu aye nyini so aye nyina ye boaboa ye ho enti ne ya de radi nyankopon se won pempen so de aba bedru media ne ogidi ogian dia I know wisdom will take me somewhere one day if I do so wo pese oba so abetuma send request na me de wato so ba ansa na beba na me nkoso anka say the whole UK upo bi obetuma ma Ghana JC a obe share filia ola GH all the types of Ghana JC ni nyina no owobi sanso na pese odo niam akọ Ghana door to door ye be fa free ufie ni ye de kosi opuna no wo Ghana twan ni nyina ola GH o pese obi so di bibi free Ghana ebre o wa ha se ya ma de a ni nyina ola GH